to see everything through. Today could be horrible, then the next day could be great. Hey, don't give up. Whatever you got your goal set on, do your best to try to reach them.
Stay motivated. Don't let nobody get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. Always think bigger picture. Know why you're doing stuff. Don't just do stuff just to do it. Have a reason for you doing stuff. Take it day by day to see a better day. Don't look forward. Don't look back. Stay in the moment. Take it day by day. Take it one day at a time. Storms don't last forever. It's gonna be some good days, bad days, but just things to come.
Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Henderson Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and this is Season 4, Episode 9. On this episode, we have Breland and Cortney Walton. Breland and Cort are cousins who've grown up together and are from Beckley, West Virginia. Bre and Cort have played basketball together their entire lives from a young age to now, where we're all teammates at Davis Elkins College. On this episode, Breland and Cortney will talk about growing up in Beckley, when they decided to take the game of basketball serious, their JUCO basketball experience, and how they ended up playing together to finish their college careers at Davis Elkins College. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Breland and Cortney Walton, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you for having us, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate y'all for doing this, taking the time to do this. It means a lot to me, supporting the show. I'm still kind of just getting started, but I appreciate y'all taking the time to do this. It means a lot to me for sure.
Sure.
Breland and Cort, talk to me about growing up in Beckley, West Virginia. You guys are cousins. Talk to me about what it was like for you guys growing up in Beckley.
Honestly, it was real smooth. Now that I think about life, it was really smooth growing up. Nothing really wrong with the life that we had coming out, or at least me. So other than that, small town city, nothing much to do. But other than that, it's just, nothing really wrong with the life how it is.
Yeah, pretty much the same. But we grew up on different sides of town. I grew up in like a lot of gun violence and stuff like that. So, pretty much trying to stay out that stuff. Focus on priorities and school and sports, stuff like that.
For sure. A couple of weeks ago, we was going to Morgantown. We was talking in the car. Breland and Cort told me you used to like him. What was that all about? What was that all about coming up? He said it was about basketball. You was hating on my man, bro.
Man, listen. It was back then. I was more of a football dude, and I was like, I was real competitive too. When it came to basketball, I didn't really care so much. It was like I'm just out there. Like my dad just put me out there, so it was like just go out and play. But then after really getting into basketball, this man it actually kind of started at our grandmother's house because we had a little hoop at the top of the hill. And every single time, this man would literally, it's like he would literally try to give me a bucket. I wasn't no good at basketball. I didn't care much about basketball, but it was just the fact that he was giving me buckets. So that really kind of sparked something right there. It was like there's no way this guy's really cooking me like this.
Definitely. Breland, you got a twin brother. What was it like growing up having a twin? And talk to me about your brother.
He a cool dude. Now he lives in Colorado Springs in Colorado. He moved there last year, but he's going to be making his way back home in December. He's been up there by himself really, but I guess he really just missed being back home or something. But I know he planned on moving back here, I think, sometime before Christmas. But it's been smooth having a twin brother. I really enjoyed it. It felt different, because it was the fact, hey, I got, a twin. It's not just another sibling or nothing. It's, something that's different from everything else that's going on. So it was, pretty cool, we go wearing matching clothes and all that. That was probably my favorite thing, trying to go around wearing the same clothes at a point where we did look alike. So it was, in middle school, we did have a point where we switched teachers. Science teachers was right next door to each other. So, for a week, 2 weeks, it was all right, we're just going to switch classes. We're going to act like I'm you, me, just, and then, it worked for a certain amount of time, but after a while, our teachers figured it out, but they liked my teacher liked him more than me, and his teacher liked me more. So we just continued to go with it. But yeah, it's pretty cool having a twin brother.
Definitely. That sounds like some real life movie stuff. I always thought that would be, I know it's probably lit to have a twin, like to do stuff like that, wearing the same clothes. Y'all definitely probably closer than you would be with just a regular sibling, like you said. But I think that's pretty lit. When you told me that, I was just kind of like amazed. And then you started showing me pictures. I was like, it's just crazy. I think that's just something crazy in general. Twins, like I said, it's pretty lit. Like I was definitely like kind of excited when I heard you say that, or when you showed me pictures of your brother. Talk to me about how y'all first got into basketball. Like, what was your first hoop memory? Who put the ball in your hands? When did you first start playing basketball?
I started in the Y League when I think it was third grade. I didn't make the basketball team, and I mean it kind of hurt, but at the same time it was like, I mean it's not my sport, so I didn't really care. But at the same time I was like, damn, like I didn't make the team, so it's like I felt like a nobody, like not get like just straight getting cut from the team. So I mean I played all Y League and all through middle school just for fun, but I think after our 8th grade year when we lost the championship game, that's really sparked something in me that made me like I really like this sport. Like I got to change the whole momentum, like my whole mindset, and actually like put in work for this sport.
For me, I really didn't start taking it like serious for basketball until like 2nd grade, because like I also like football, but one time in 2nd grade, I heard my school was having basketball tryouts, and I tried to go there, and you couldn't try out until you was in 3rd grade. So I went home and I was mad, and I asked my dad like, why they not let me try out? So that was probably my favorite memory.
For sure. I think a lot of people, like you said, I started off in a rec league, then YMCA league, then just gradually moving on to AAU ball and stuff like that. And I know, like playing football, I was kind of similar to you. Like I never got cut from a team because I didn't start in a place where you could get cut. So like, and it was like lower level competition. So I was decent, even though I was just getting started. But I think a lot of people start off playing rec leagues and just going on like that. You talked about 8th grade when you started taking it serious, and you talked about 2nd grade when you started taking it serious. Court, what was that like? What was that changing your mindset like? And what did those days look like when you started putting in work and just taking the game more seriously?
Well, for me, so I lived in an apartment complex when I was younger, and like when you go up the hill, it's a big park, like swing sets and all that. So I would just walk up there and just work on my game. I mean, I had friends up there that I would play too, but at that time it didn't really matter. I just take drills from coaches I've had and do that at the park, work on like form shooting and stuff like that. And at first I would shoot 2 hands. So then I'm like, I gotta start shooting 1 hand. So I start practicing my form shooting, and then got good at that. And then from there, I just locked in.
Really, my dad was always hard on. Well, I mean, it wasn't hard. I think it's tough love now that I got older, and it'd be times to where like literally I would try to ask him to like come out, like let's do this, let's do that, but that didn't happen until after when he used to ask me, because like I said, football was my first love, and whenever he asked me to come outside and work on a few basketball stuff, I would like try to like make an excuse like not to go. So I really wasn't putting all my energy. So one day he hit me. He's like, and like I said, I can't make you want to do like get better at basketball. Like it got to be a mindset that you got to want to do it yourself. So he said every day he just like ask me like, what am I going to do? I tell him like I had a park up the hill. Sometimes a couple guys probably be up there, maybe a couple family members on my dad's side of my family. But I mean, we'll probably run like a few games up there. And then sometimes my neighbor, he would have he had his goal in the road a couple times. So he would like constantly, I think that probably got me right there. Like he would constantly come knock on our door like, hey, can Breland and Bre come out? Like, do they want to come out and play basketball? So it was like, like I'm not gonna let some dude come to my house and like tell me like come play and then I'll not come out. So it was like he kind of like pushed me into like wanting to actually get my craft better. So I bought my own basketball later on, and I started working out like on his goals sometimes throughout the day.
For sure. I think that's major. Like when I become a parent, I would probably have somewhat of the same approach, kind of a little mixed approach. My dad's the same way. Football, basketball, anything. My little brother's the same way. Like he never was the type of person to try to like live out his dream or just make us do stuff. Like he kind of just let us like take our own liking to sports and put the time in that we wanted to put in. Like he never was that person to really just try to make us do stuff. I think that's major because if parents try to make their kids do stuff, they'll end up just moving farther away from it or not liking it necessarily. I think that's major. I also kind of, part of me wishes that he was a little bit harder on me though, like, and did kind of push me a little bit. So I think that's something I'm going to take with me when I become a parent, like maybe try to find the perfect middle if possible. Like, I think I would be a little bit better of a player if maybe he did push me a little harder or try to get me to do stuff. But I definitely think that's the best approach for sure. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Once you guys started getting better, you guys definitely started playing travel ball when you were younger. What was it like, those good times playing travel ball, making memories, traveling? What was it like playing AAU ball as kids?
I mean, it was real fun because the guys we had on our team, it was like basically like well, we call them brothers now. They're like considered family. So since we first started playing, maybe I can't remember when we first started playing, but around that time, it was like every trip. Like to me, I wasn't really that good. Like I played because like my coach, like it's times where I do like things in the game that benefit for my team, and basically I just play my role. But I mean, it was pretty fun going to all these tournaments, traveling with my guys because it was just basically thinking about all the memories that we're going to make like throughout all this time and stuff. So it was, I say I'm still happy. Like I wish at times we'd have been in like maybe more major AAU tournaments. I mean, there's no telling if we was like ready for it or not, but I mean, there's only one way to tell. But other than like, since we didn't do that, I mean, I still never took that time for granted with all my guys.
So, you know, like you said, like growing up, we all played on the same team. It was just one team, like for our age group. So, you know what I'm saying? Like from like, what, 3rd, 4th grade on up to like maybe 8th. And then after that, people started, you know, like venturing off different cities and, you know, circuits and stuff like that. Then maybe around 11th, 12th, something like that. Me, him, and maybe like one more person stuck together, and we went to this team up north, West Virginia in Fairmont, called West Virginia Reign Elite. You know, that was probably the best experience for AAU for me. I feel like he brought the best out of us each and every day, each and every practice. He took us to real good tournaments and got us the exposure we needed to get to where we are today. So,
yeah, I do want to touch up on that. That was probably one of the best things that ever happened to join Coach News and the West Virginia Reign Elite team because, I mean, yeah, I have great coaches all around that, like, help me and stuff. But, like, he actually, like, gave me more confidence on to play the game instead of being, like, all my life I've been, like, a post player. So it's like as soon as I got there, he was like, there's, like, more capability. Like, you're capable of doing more things. So that kind of, like, gave me that little push to, like, let me see where else I could take my game to. So that was probably, like, one of the best things at that age.
For sure. I think when I think back, I feel like the most fun I had was definitely the younger days when it wasn't really about going to play on the circuit or all that kind of stuff. It was more so just about just hanging with your friends and just playing. Obviously, it was about winning, but it wasn't as emphasized. It was more so about just getting better, having fun. Like, I had a similar kind of upbringing as far as AAU ball as you guys. Like, I had a group of my friends. We played together for forever, really, just until, like you said, it's the same thing till we started getting better and we started venturing our different ways, doing what was best for us. But like those guys, like I'm sure you feel the same way, like those core group of guys that you started playing with, like you probably feel like some of them, y'all could come to our practice and scrimmage against us and probably do pretty good, or like go anywhere to the parks, anywhere, and just play good, just because that chemistry, that love that you had. You said they were like a family. Like I feel the same way. A lot of my guys, a lot of my friends, family, like you said. After AAU ball, when you guys were kids, middle school passed by, you guys ended up obviously going to high school. Cort, you went to Greater Beckley Christian High School. Talk to me about that experience going to a smaller school and what that was like.
Oh man. So the 8th grade summer, for me, it was a roller coaster. You know, everybody expected people out of the main middle schools to go to Woodrow Wilson, but we had a cousin that had went to Greater Beckley Christian, and you know, he talked to me about it. I liked the thought of it. It's different, and you know, I like playing with him as well. So I had ultimately decided to go to Greater Beckley Christian, and I mean, it worked out. So happy about that.
You went there your first 2 years. You ended up transferring to Woodrow Wilson, a bigger school, like you said, the school that Breland went to. What was the difference automatically that you saw when you went from private school or smaller school to the public school?
Really the people. Like I said, 9th and 10th grade, there's only 20 people in our class. And, you know, going to Woodrow Wilson where it's a couple thousand maybe, something like that. Just being in a bigger environment. In West Virginia, they think like the play is different from single A to triple A. I mean, it is, but I mean, really, like being at a single A, we beat a couple of the triple A schools. So I mean, talent is going to be where it's at. So
for sure. Breland, what was your experience like at Woodrow Wilson on and off the court?
Off the court, it was pretty great. I mean, like I said, like I made tons of friends in middle school, and then knowing I was going to high school and walking in, it was like I wasn't no stranger to the school. It was like everywhere I go, I know who this person is, that person is. Like just walking in the front doors, all I see is my guys I hoop with in middle school, AAU, just anybody I really know, friends from up the street and all around. Like classes and everything. I mean, it was smooth. I mean, it was enjoyable. Like I said before, I had all my guys in there with me. So it was like, I mean, it was never really a dull day going to school. Basketball, I say it was really, really like intense. Coming in as a freshman, I mean, when I came in, I made freshman team, but like the workouts and everything, like we had different coaches. Like varsity, of course, varsity works harder than JV team, and JV works like just a little bit more harder than 9th grade. But I mean, it was just like right around that time, I still really didn't have that confidence in basketball yet. Like I was like for the big time moments and everything, like in life, like the more you get involved with the game, like I wasn't nowhere like I'm that man, like I'm that guy to be playing. Like I'm just like an average person out here on the court just running around. But workouts, it was like really intense. It was like because, I mean, my body is just trying to like adjust to what I'm getting ready to. Like the new style of workouts, practice, weights, all that. But, I mean, I really enjoyed all of it because, I mean, it did help me get to where I was.
What were you guys able to accomplish there, Cort, your last 2 years there, and Breland, your last 2 years as well when Cort got there and before? Like, what was you guys able to accomplish overall at Woodrow Wilson?
My first year I only played 9th grade, so I really wasn't around, like, to do much. 10th grade, I mean, I made varsity, but, I mean, I really had to earn minutes. Like, I really had to, like, put in the actual work in order to find me playing time. So, like, I mean, I really wasn't that good either around that time. Like, I was good enough to, like, in my opinion, good enough to play. But it was like, it was just hard to get out there. But, I mean, we made it to the state tournament. I believe, if I'm right, we made it to the semifinals. And around that time is really when I started to play, because I had one coach, Coach Neighbors. Like, throughout high school, I mean, I feel like I was overlooked. And, like, that's how I seen it. Like, I was like, I'm the underdog. I'm overlooked by everybody. So it's like you hear about, like, because Cort and all them were, like, doing their thing during middle school and up. So it was like you would hear about them, but there was never, like, you would hear, like, my name. So, I mean, that kind of hit me, too. And it was like, yo, like, I can play with these guys. That was my head, like, my mindset. Like, I can play with these guys. So, like, finally my JV coach has seen, like, the work I had put in and finally put me in, like, told the head coach to put me in one of the games. And, like, to this day, like, I'd still, like, remember it. Like, I thank Coach Neighbors all the time for it. But it was against one of our rival schools, Greenbrier East. Came in, I think it was, like, third quarter maybe. And, I mean, I was all, like, a little intimidated because I wasn't, like, the biggest guy out there. I was small. But once I finally got in, it was, like after my first bucket, it was like, all right, I can, like, I feel comfortable. Like, I can, like, actually do what I want to do. So, like, finished that game out really good. Made it to semi. Like, finally when I started, like, earning my playing time after that, I had tweaked my Achilles, like, I think a week before the state tournament. Didn't really play much the first game. Second game, I played a little bit. But, I mean, it was, like, a great experience, like, a big show. Like, you got dozens of people around watching. So that was a great thing. And then finally when Cort and them came, which I was happy because they came, because it was like we got our brotherhood back. Like, we got everybody in here that we all played through all our life. And we all at the one school. And finally want to win a championship. Like, we felt like we were that team to beat, and I still think we were that team to beat. And obviously when they got there, like, we really had weapons. Like, there wasn't one guy on our team that really couldn't, like, get the ball scores, lock somebody up on defense. And it really made the things a lot easier because the year before that, we wasn't really deep like that. It wasn't like actual basketball players. Now that they came, we actually had basketball players there. So, I mean, practice every day, like, it was, like, intense. Like, we knew, like, tough love and not, like, we would get on each other, like, basically make each other better. We knew that we could make each other better. And we made it all the way to the semifinals both years. No, our junior year, we made it to the semifinals. And our senior year, we lost to another rival school in a regional championship game.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. After high school, you guys' recruitment process started. What was you guys' recruiting process like?
Out of high school, to be honest, I didn't have any coaches or schools, like, talking to me. Like, I think I had Potomac State, and I was a junior college. But at the time, like, when you're young, it's like you have a dream of going to D1. So it was like, if I don't hear D1, it's like I don't want to go. But other than that, I had 0 schools contact me after my senior year other than the junior college.
For me, I had an offer of West Virginia Tech. It was right down the street from the house, like, literally, like, 2 minutes. At the time, I didn't want to be home just because there was a lot of, like stuff going on, like a lot of violence and stuff like that. And then I ultimately decided to go to prep. Then after that, I had a JUCO offer, Potomac State.
What would you say to somebody that has the mindset that you had back then? I'm sure I had a similar mindset. A lot of people have that mindset. What would you tell somebody that's coming up right now that's thinking that same thing that you were thinking?
sometimes I actually have a talk with my nephew sometimes. He's in his freshman year of high school right now. And a couple other kids too as well that's like upcoming seniors going to graduate or anything. Because, I mean, like through high school, I actually had a couple kids that did look up to me. So, like after I like actually went through JUCO and then now here, I actually go back, like when they ask me questions about college, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, now if I go home and then the kids is worried about trying to go D1, I'll tell them like, that's like, I mean, that's a okay dream, but really you want to go somewhere where you're going to play. Like, I think personally, I wish somebody would have told me like, it's not all easy trying to play Division I basketball because honestly, it's not. But I think it's just like, just focus on like, pay attention to who wants you. And like if that team really like fits with you, like Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, like it's gonna like be great for you. You gotta think about it. Like if you're not that good, like if you're not a top recruit going D1, it's either you go there, ride the bench, and like just watch other people play in the whole year, or either you can go to like a Division II or any school that you know that you can play and turn out to be like player of the year in your conference or like first team and everything else.
Like you said, you know, go where you want it. That's really the main thing. You don't want to go somewhere where you want to go, and then you go there and just, you know, sit the bench. I mean, you being a college player, we being college players, we know, like, there's some Division II players that should be Division I, like 100%. And then there's Division I players that shouldn't even be where they at, just off how they play. So that's my thing.
Definitely. I think that's something major. I had to ask that because I feel like that's something all of us have thought before, and it's really not as easy as we thought back then to play Division I basketball, even to play D2 basketball. Like, it's good players everywhere, like you said, but the most important thing is definitely being able to show that you're a good player. Nobody will ever know if you're a good player if you're not touching the court. So I think that's definitely major for sure.
Definitely.
Potomac State, you guys went the JUCO route. Talk to me about choosing Potomac State and what your JUCO experience was like.
To be honest, out of prep school, I actually did have a couple of offers from junior colleges out of prep, like Walter State. It was a Division I junior college. I can't remember what part of Tennessee it was in, but I mean it was a few other than that. But I thought about it. Like I talked to my peoples, like because at the time I really couldn't make my own decisions. Like I was indecisive, so I talked to my dad. I mean, I talked to my mom and my brothers. They said, "Dude, like feels right for you." And when I finally called my dad, because that's like the guy who's really like sports, like he knows what he's talking about, and he's played college basketball, so he would tell me like what I need to hear and what I want to know. So he actually told me, he said, no, he said that school is, I think it was like 6 hours from home. So he didn't want me really going that far away from home at the time. So when I thought about it, I remember Cort getting the offer from Potomac, and I didn't really want to do it because I'm thinking like, why would I, like still my mindset was like, why do I want to go to Potomac State? Like it's not like, it sounds like it's not really like a good program. So one day it just hit me, and I literally laid in bed, stayed up for like, I think I thought about it since like maybe 1 a.m, stayed up to like 4 or 5, and finally like clicked, and I told Cort, like I was like, yeah, like talk to the coach, like I want to come up there and play with you, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I mean the prep school. Prep year was up and down. You know, we had interest from a lot of schools, but none were really like throwing offers until like the last minute when we had Potomac State. I had talked to my dad about it. He was like, "You really want to go JUCO?" And I was like, "I mean, it's the only thing I have on the table right now." So, and then choosing to go to Potomac State had to be one of the best decisions of my life. So,
what was it like when you guys first got up there, adjusting to the college lifestyle and just being a part of the JUCO grind?
So when we first got up there, you know, just into the, like you said, just into the grind and stuff. It was different. Meeting people from different backgrounds, different cities and stuff like that. JUCO is a dog-eat-dog world, but with that team, our first year, it wasn't like that. Everybody liked each other. We knew that we needed each other in order to get where we wanted. So,
yeah, first moving up there, I mean, we figured out that we had a few guys like rival teammates, but also teammates through travel ball was going up there. So we had a dude, CJ, that was up there from the jump, and he actually got one of his point guards that he used to play with, Leandre, to come up there. So adding with me, Cort, Leandre, CJ, and then a few others that we knew, and then we met from the past. I knew it wasn't going to be easy because it was the first time actually being away from home. Bristol was probably almost 2 hours from home, so it felt like not that long of a drive. But Potomac was 4 hours from home, so it was we're in a whole new town, this far away from our people. So it was he the only one I'm gonna really know. We roommates, and then we walked up to the campus. We had it was some function on the quad of our campus. So basically, it seemed like a meet and greet type of thing. So we got to meet a couple people, made a couple friends, but grinding wise, I never knew nothing really about JUCO. I just that was my first time ever realizing what JUCO was. But the grind, we knew that we all wanted to play at an actual D2, D3. Still had hopes for a D1 still at the time. We just still figured we're gonna work for this. We had a team where the bond just clicked just like that in a snap of a finger. So it was in the weight room, we'd be on each other like tough love. It was we just want to see each other be great. So it was great chemistry from the jump. To be honest, it was great chemistry when we played with each other. Nobody was selfish. Nobody was me ball. It was you eat, I eat, he eat. It was that type of grind.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Definitely. I think I talk about it on a lot of my shows because a lot of us, we all are JUCO products at this point, but a lot of people I talk to also play JUCO ball, and it really is just a grind. Cort said a dog-eat-dog world. I feel like it was a blessing for y'all to be somewhere where you guys had good chemistry off the rip. That's not how it goes. A lot of places, a lot of times, I'm sure you play some teams that you could see it just wasn't really togetherness. It wasn't the same environment that you guys had. So I think that's a major key. I think that's what separates good JUCO teams from bad ones a lot of the time. Obviously, you got to have some kind of talent and coaching, all the stuff you need to be a good basketball team. But the chemistry, I think that's something that's important at any level of basketball, but especially in JUCO because, like you said, everybody's just trying to get to the next level, do what they want to do what they got to do to get to where they want to go. So I think that cohesiveness, that's the word I was looking for. I didn't know what but I think that's real key in playing and being a good JUCO program.
Sure.
What were you guys able to accomplish there? You were there for 2 years. What was your second year like, and what were you able to accomplish there overall?
To go back to first year, we had went undefeated until
the 26 or 27 game.
Yeah, and then after that, we had won the first 2 games of the regional conference tournament, and then we lost in the championship. But all in all, we still came through as the best team with the best record that ever came through Potomac. Previous teams haven't won as many games as we did, and then going into the second year, I feel like top to bottom our team was deeper than our first year team. There was a couple incidents that messed up our season at the beginning, we had to forfeit some games. So that kind of like messed with people's heads, and we kind of like took a down spiral. But I mean, it was still a good season though. So
yeah, like the first year, I mean, first team to come in and go on an undefeated season like that. Well, not all the way undefeated, but we won 26 to 27 straight games. We lost, I think, the one game before the conference tournament. So that was really like a bright side about it, because it was like our mindset was like, let's flip this school around. Like, let's change this program, like make it a basketball school, because Potomac, from what I think is really known for baseball, because baseball there was a Division I sport. Everything else was D2. So, but we really wanted and I think we did change that program around second year. I mean, we didn't have the same season as the first. Like you said, we had a couple downfalls and everything, but we made it to, I think we lose the first round? We lost the first round of the tournament, which, I mean, that hurt, because it's like you want to win, of course. But it was, I mean, it did hurt a little bit, because it was like, wow, like our JUCO days is over, because JUCO was really like one of the best experiences I think we've ever had. And through both of those years, like, I was like blessed to be a part of Potomac State, and I still like miss every memory that we had there basketball wise.
After Potomac State, you guys ended up here at Davis Elkins. Talk to me about getting here and what was it like when you first got here?
So throughout our sophomore year at Potomac, I had picked up an offer from Frostburg State. Then my coach told me, he's like, there's going to be more to come. So I had waited. And then like towards the end of the season, I had picked up another offer from Benedict College and then Bluefield State. And I had a few interests from Miles College, Park University, Angelo State, and then West Virginia Tech came back in the picture. And then Coach Mondragon had offered me towards the end of the summer. I wasn't really sure if I was going to continue playing, because I had a little knee injury. And with the COVID stuff going on, it was really hard to get like doctor's appointments and stuff like that. But we had figured it out. So
out of JUCO, I mean, I finished with a pretty great season. I think I finished with averaging 21 points and either 12 or 13 rebounds, I think, a game. So, I mean, I don't know if you say like heavily recruited, is like, I don't know how many offers, but in my opinion, like about almost 20 offers is heavily recruited. So that's how I felt after them that year at JUCO. But, I mean, Coach Mondragon was literally the first school – well, he's literally the first coach that came to me and offered me a scholarship. So, I mean, in my head at that time, I was like, wow, like, it's like, I mean, I never heard of Davis Elkins in my life. Like from being from West Virginia, I had never heard of them ever. And it was kind of like I didn't want to play. Like, with my talent, I feel like I wanted to show other states and other players, like, outside of West Virginia, like, what I could do. Like, it was like I felt like I wanted to take that challenge. So, like, as well as got offers from, like, Frostburg State, Angelo State, and then I had a coach talk to me after our tournament, Coach Stewart from Bre and Cort University in New Jersey. So he had called me, and, like, in my head, like, I was sitting with my coach from JUCO in his office while we were on the phone with him, and it's like, I mean, it was like a big feeling for me, because it's like just a small Beckley, West Virginia kid getting an offer out of state. It's like, wow, like, I mean, for me, that's an unbelievable moment, because it's like, if you think about West Virginia, it's like, what kid is going to play outside of West Virginia? So for me to think about that, it was like great. Like, he showed great interest in me. Like, called me every day, check on me, check on my family, my well-being. Like, he'll send me clips like, hey, I want to work with you, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So I had initially committed to Bre and Cort. after I think 2 weeks of being on the phone with him. I mean, other offers were coming in, but I wasn't like it just clicked with me and him. So COVID hit, like when it started getting like worse. I thought about it, I talked to my peoples, and it's like we had family members in New Jersey who died from COVID, and at the time it was like real bad up that way. So it was like a kind of like thing like I didn't want to go through, like take a chance of going up there. Like I wanted to be close to my family. Like I didn't want to be like with this going on, being like far away from them. And I think it was like a 9 to 10 hour drive to get there. So, I mean, it killed me to do it, but I had decommitted from there because, I mean, me and the coach had a strong, like, relationship from jump. Like, it was, like, just there. And I thought about it when I seen Cort, when he signed the Davis Elkins. I was like, we played together, like, all our life, like, from kids and up. And I was like, I don't think, like – and that was another thing that bothered me when I was committed to the school in Jersey. I was like, me and Cort played, like, I don't know how many years together, basically all our life. And seeing him come here, it was like, why not finish? Like, in my opinion, it's like, why not finish that story? Like, we can both just, like, finish this whole thing how we already started it. So I got in contact – I had him contact Coach Mondragon for me. I talked to Coach Mondragon. And, I mean, me and him had a strong relationship from the jump, too. But my mindset was, like, let me get out of West Virginia and do something different. But, I mean, I'm glad that I came here. Like, he was heavily recruiting me as well. And then another thing that kind of got me, too, is that out of all the schools in West Virginia, he was really the only one who recruited me, even after junior college. So it's like I want to play all these teams, like, show, like, all these teams what they was missing out on. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to come to D&E my first year. And I was like, never heard much about him either. So I was like, come here and change, like, do the same thing as Potomac. Like, if we could change that, we can come here and change that too.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Sure. I think, like you said, how else would you want to end it? This, like I said, it's like a movie. Y'all boys playing together, basically damn near brothers, y'all cousins, but y'all family. I think that's major. I wish I had an opportunity to play with a cousin, a brother, a family member. Like, I just feel like it's just like a movie story. That's the way that it had to end. Last year, you guys had pretty, like, polar opposite years. Cort, you were recovering from an injury. Breland, you were should have been first team all conference player. Talk to me about you guys' season last year and what went on and what it was like last year.
It was really a struggle. I mean, I had a weird feeling about it. Like, after Cort told me over the summer that he was getting surgery, it was like we never played together at the same time. It's like I play in the post. It's like if I catch that ball in the post and I know, like, people are about to, like I'm getting surrounded by, like, 2-3 players getting double teamed, I always know he's, like, in the opposite corner of me. So I'm like, I already know my release point is just a boom. Like, he's over there in that corner. I don't even have to look. I can get rid of the ball. Boom, it's open shot. But with him being hurt, it was like, I don't know how the team is going to be because I'd never seen none of our guys play. But after I got here, it was like, all right, so we can shake something with this. So, like, going down the road, it was like injury after injury after injury. So it left us with, like, maybe seven, maybe 8 players, which was really a struggle because playing all those minutes and with COVID going on, we started our season in January. So it was almost like 3 games, like, a week. So it was, like, really taking a toll on our bodies. And it was like, it's like we couldn't do what we really wanted to do because all the, like the toll on our bodies. Like I said, it just wasn't really that good on us. But I mean, we fought throughout the whole season. I mean, it was a close game. I mean, we struggled on closing close games. But I mean, for a freshman, Sam was literally the first freshman I had ever seen, like, come out and play like he's already played college ball before. So it was, like, a big help because, like, me coming in thinking, like, all right, I'm the vet and I got to play with, like, a couple young guys. But, I mean, he surprised me, and I'm glad he showed up throughout the season. I mean, I hated that everybody else got hurt, which really did damage to our team. But, I mean, I'm glad, like, him as well as Jossie, Timu, everybody else, like, they stepped up to the plate. So, I mean, I'm glad that we fought through the end. Like, I mean, I couldn't ask for nothing more.
What do you see the difference from last year to this year's team is, and what are some of your goals individually and as a team for our team this year?
We really have a lot, like, we have more talent than we did last year, in my opinion. Like for the pieces that we lost, we gained more pieces. Like for them to come in, like for everybody that came in this year, is like it fit in for like Jossie was like a big piece of our team last year, and it was like thinking like, all right, next year, like what's coach gonna do to replace that? But I mean, all y'all, UE, JT, then we got Cort back. Is like, yeah, like we kind of filled in that spot now. So from last year, I see a whole lot of it's more experience this year with all of us JUCO players coming in, and then as well as Sam coming back another year. And he's really improved a lot. I mean, Sam last year, freshman of the year, but I mean, he's not gonna settle with that. I know Sam, so that's not gonna be like his settling point. Like as well for myself, like last year I still like it plays in my head because I had people texting me congratulations after the season, and I was confused on what it was. And I woke up and it said I made second team all conference. So with me, it kind of like, for me carrying on this year, like I feel disrespected being put second team because, I mean, there wasn't really no reason I shouldn't have been first team. But, I mean, I'm glad that happened. I mean, I use that as fuel now. So it's like just push on to another level and just try to get through with this team and get us to where we need to be.
For me, I had redshirted last year due to injury, like I said. But at the beginning of the last season, I mean, I feel like everybody liked each other. Then for this year, you could just feel it more. Like everybody likes playing with each other. Everybody likes each other, in which you need that type of bond on the team in order to do what you want to do as far as the season. Then as far as the individual goal, I do want to make an all-conference team, but I really just want to be the best version of myself on and off the court, and I want to help us win games and hopefully win a conference chip. That's really the biggest goal for me. So,
definitely, I think we definitely have the talent that we need to be able to accomplish those kind of goals. Just winning games, having the first winning season in the years that it's been since D&E has had one, winning the conference championship. Obviously, it won't be easy to do either of those, but I think if we just keep doing what we need to do and just playing together, staying together, and just, like I said, doing what we need to do, taking care of our business, I think all of those things are within reach with some hard work and some dedication. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Now we're about to do the last segment of my show. Call it Crunch Time, a couple last-minute questions to wrap the show up. Crunch Time, you know, that's the fourth quarter. That's when you got to lock in. You got to get right. You got to show up, step up to the plate like Bre said earlier. But, yeah, we're going to do this, wrap up the show, couple last questions for you guys. What's been the biggest obstacle that you've had to face to get to this point?
I say confidence because – I mean, I gained a lot of confidence over the years, but it's like just a mind thing with me, like overthinking everything. That kind of gets me sometimes. So it's like it's just certain things. Like it depends in the moment what I think of. So just me overthinking a lot of stuff. That's probably a big obstacle for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of say the same. I overthink a lot. So overcoming that stuff. trust in the work that you put in. So.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Honestly, I think the best piece is to see everything through. Like, at times, like in the past, I would want to probably like give up on some stuff maybe, but after like junior college, like it's like see it all through. Like don't give up. So that really stuck with me because like today could be horrible, then the next day could be great, and then like just see it through.
For me, take it day by day to see a better day. What I took from that is, don't look forward, don't look back. Stay in the moment. Like the quote says, just take it day by day, take it one day at a time. Storms don't last forever. It's gonna be some good days, bad days, but just stay in the moment, and things will come to what you want it to be.
Definitely. Cort, you kind of just answered it, but Breland, what's a quote or what's one or two quotes that you just keep with you, that you take with you every day just to get you through your days?
Really no quotes. I actually got a tattoo over the summer before school, and I got family tatted on me. So it's like times where I think I'm overwhelmed with stuff. Like I tend to like think in my head like I can't do it. Like one of my dreams is to literally like go overseas and play pro basketball. I mean, it's no guarantee what happens, but it's like something that I can work towards. So like times like when I feel like I want to give up, like I look down at my arm and I see family, I'm like, so it's like who I do it for? Like why do I do it? And I just look down, I'm like, all right, I'm doing this for my mom, my dad, brothers, grandma, all them. Like for my city, like just like making a change for myself.
For sure. Oh, no, let me see. What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your close friends, your family, they would know about you?
That I'm actually a nice and goofy guy, because a lot of people here I met on campus, like after getting to know them, they thought there's like, we thought you was like a bully type of person. Like when we see you, you come up, they're like, we think you're like, we thought you were mean, you're a bully. But like everybody know, like I'm just like goofy. And like I think the size just like makes people think that.
For me, people probably think I'm quiet and shy. But like when I'm around, people that I'm with every day, I'm probably one of the most goofiest and funniest guys, like he said about himself. I'm more comfortable. I talk a lot more. So that's about it.
For sure. What advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back in time and tell your younger self something?
Honestly, pay attention in school more, because that's been like a critical thing for me since JUCO. Like it's just like a lack of paying attention in class and everything, like just to focus more. And with sports wise, like I would tell myself to work hard and just like be ready for the outcome. Like you're gonna be proud of the outcome that comes. So that's probably really all I would tell myself, like just to see, don't be down on yourself all the time. Once again, gain confidence in yourself. Like if I like, all right, so what people always say, I'm an undersized big in basketball. So it was one time in middle school where my dad talked to the coach and told him like, I want to be a point guard. So I did, but I couldn't take the like talking and stuff like, hey, Bre, speak up, Bre, do this, Bre, do that. So it was like I didn't have no confidence in myself. So I gave up that spot already, and I said, I don't want to do it. Like just put me back on like the wing or in the paint. But I would tell myself like, hey, like just toughen up a little bit, like just see it all through, like work out with it. Like you just gotta like just embrace the moment, really.
What I would tell my younger self is always think bigger picture, Know why you're doing stuff. Don't just do stuff just to do it. have a reason for you doing stuff, know what you're doing it for, know what you want out of life. So that's what I'll tell myself, younger self.
For sure. Breland, you kind of touched on it, but what's your why? Like, what keeps you going? What motivates you to keep striving for great things and doing big things?
My family. I really think of my family all the time because, like when you think of NBA players, like how you see that they're giving back to like their family and everybody else. Like some players, like as soon as they like get to the league or whatever, they buy their parents like a house, a car. So like with me, it's like I really want to try to go pro overseas, and that way, if I can do that, I can make a lot of money doing that, or whatever I want to do in life. Really, I want to basically give back to my family, like my parents especially, like for all they done all over the years for me. It was like one day, like I still stay committed to it. Like one day, regardless overseas or not, I'm going to give back to them like how they did for me. And then as well, kids in Beckley, I really want to give back to them and like give more stuff for them to do, like athletes and stuff. Like I want to coach too. Like once I want to start out like at a high school level maybe, or middle school even, and just work my way up. But I really want to just give back to my community and do more stuff for my family. And that's really the main thing that hits me every time whenever I like just thinking down and I'm like, all right, remember why you're doing this. Like, what's your why?
Yeah, kind of the same, my family, watching my dad and mom work all the time. I just kind of want to get to a position where I can help them, where they ain't got to work as much or even not even work at all. I also have a brother, I also like to help him out as well. And again, like he said, the kids in Beckley as well. We really didn't have a lot of stuff to do and like people to look up to. So we want to give them that positive person or people for them to look up to. Get out the streets and stuff like that. So,
what does the city of Beckley mean to you?
Everything. It basically shows like where we came from, like our origin story, like how it all started, and basically like just can't wait to see like how the way it ends.
If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
One, I'm going to say Kobe Bryant, because although like I've watched my brothers play basketball growing up, but like when I actually started like to fall in love with the game of basketball, and my dad's favorite team was the Lakers, so Kobe Bryant was the very first person I seen like the dog mentality, like I seen like how he like just got after it. That made me like want to push really. So that's one of the main people I would want to meet. And then other than that, I really can't think of none. That's really the only person I can think of. Maybe I guess a few other NBA players or anybody famous, I guess.
For me, Allen Iverson, definitely number one. Just because he's really one of the main reasons why I started playing basketball, watching him. Jay-Z, from a business perspective. And my grandfather, who had passed away, he had just started like getting to my life before he had passed, so that's really another person I like to spend a day with, for real.
For sure. R.I.P. to your granddad. For sure.
Appreciate you, man.
Last question. Who should I have on my show? Before you answer, whoever y'all say, y'all got to plug me in. You got to help me get them. Who do you think I should have on the show next?
If it's here, like team-wise, you could probably throw Coach Mondragon on there. I've heard that might be pretty good for this. Now, outside of here, after the Marshall game, I would probably do Tavion Kinsley. Because, I feel like he got a good story going on. Like, if you can get in touch with him, I feel like he has a good story, like, for how it's going for him.
trying to think. I'll probably say he from our city. Bryce Radford, or maybe even Isaiah Francis, also from our city. That's probably the main two people. So,
Coach Mondragon, Bryce Radford, Isaiah Francis. If y'all see this, I need y'all to come through, come bless the show. Let me chop it up with you. Thank y'all boys again, Cort, Breland. I appreciate y'all first for making me feel welcome here. Coming here is kind of tough, like y'all said, going from Beckley to Potomac. It's 14 hours, 15 hours from the crib. So, other than all the Florida guys, I appreciate y'all for embracing me, making me feel welcome here. And again, I also want to say thank you for coming on here, supporting my show. It means a lot to me for sure, taking the time to do this. It's a late night. We had practice today. Not that good of a practice. I had a rough practice today. But I appreciate y'all for coming on here, taking the time to do this. It means a lot to me for sure.
Appreciate you for having us, bro.
Yeah, so it was pretty fun. Glad to be on it.
Any last words of motivation for anybody watching? Anything y'all want to say?
Just keep pushing. That's all I got to say. Don't give up. Whatever you got your goal set on, do your best to try to reach them.
Yeah, stay motivated. Don't let nobody get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish.
For sure. Wise words from the Beckley boys. Again, I appreciate y'all. It means a lot to me. Been waiting a little bit of time to do this. I'm happy we got this done. Sure. Tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, Twitter, any social medias that you want to plug.
You can find me on Twitter at CWalton2_, and on Instagram, CWalton2.
I don't really use Twitter like that. I mean, I'll be on there sometimes, but my Twitter ain't. Nah. But you can find me on Instagram. You just type in Breland Walton or Lil Walt 52. I think that's what it is. LILWALT 52.
For sure. I'm going to have all that down below in the description. Make sure y'all tap in with Bre and Cort on social media. I'm surprised you didn't put your Snapchat on here. You know how you get.
I thought about putting a snap on there, but I was like, nah, I'm all right.
No, you get down. Again, I appreciate y'all boys, and thank y'all for doing this.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. No problem, Brody.
See y'all on the next show. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show.